So hi everyone, I'm Oshmitha, or Kuku as I'm better known, and I'm probably one of the lesser spotted members of the Ray family, but my dad managed to coerce me into speaking tonight, so hopefully you'll enjoy. So I'm here to talk to you guys about Shongit Foundation, which raises awareness about mental illness, but more generally, I'm here to talk to you guys about mental illness as a whole. So when my dad first told me about Shongit Foundation, he said, this is something I want to set up because I think it's really important that people are made aware that mental illness exists, that mental health problems exist. And I kind of asked him, why is this that important? As in, I'm aware that mental illness exists. I know that people have mental health problems, and, I don't know whether I need to be made more aware of that. But after I talked to him a little bit more, and especially after seeing some of the cultural programs that he's been doing, I realized how wide-ranging mental illness is and how diverse treatments for mental illness are as well. So the main slogan of Shongit Foundation is happiness through music, and the arts quite generally, which again is an aspect of mental illness that I never really thought of myself. Stigma against people with mental health issues is a really big problem within our own community. And obviously my friends and I have discussed how with Indian parents it's sometimes quite hard to discuss these kinds of issues. So I was interested in how bad it actually is a problem, especially specifically within the community. So I looked up a survey done across 8 states in India. 68% of people think that people with mental illnesses shouldn't be given any responsibility. 60% of people think that mental illness is caused by a lack of self-discipline or a lack of willpower. Looking at these statistics, I was really shocked because I think they're definitely reflective of a wider cultural attitude towards mental health, and a very damaging cultural attitude towards mental health. One of my biggest achievements in my 21 years of life is getting my parents to stop comparing me to other people, especially our family friends. In the past, they used to say things like, oh, look at so-and-so who got into some top-tier university, or look at this other family friend who's getting married to some PhD graduate in physics or something. But what my sister and I really worked at getting them to realize was that people's lives can seem so perfect on the outside, but you have no idea as to what's going on mentally. You have no idea as to what's going on in their heads. So to illustrate this, my dad told me to talk about my own personal experiences. He called it of my teenage angst. I tried to correct him and said, no Dad, I'm pretty sure that was what you call crippling depression. I'd really like to tell a nice story about how, I sang a song one day and my depression was cured, or how I painted a nice picture and I just felt so much better. But the relationship between happiness and the arts isn't linear. It's not like you go out to some arts event one day and then you decide that you're just magically better. Instead, I personally found doing things like dance programs, which my parents did have to push me to do a little bit with my friends, or singing, or even photography, which I've recently taken up. All of these things really helped take my mind off how I was feeling, and really helped me explore how to express my emotions in a really unusual way, especially when sometimes when mental illness seems too daunting to be able to express things in words. It's a really, really useful way of being able to, communicate with others and tell them how you're feeling. So another thing that Shongit Foundation has really illustrated to me is how there's so many other things apart from work that are important in life and that should take a central place in your life. We live in a culture of what a lot of philosophers are calling workism, the idea that work is central to your identity. There's a very common joke that a son goes to his dad, Dad, I want to be an actor, and his dad says, no son, it's pronounced doctor. And I am eternally grateful to my parents for making sure that I always have these other avenues available to me, for encouraging me to, sing, perform on stage. even convincing me to stand here right now, which I really didn't want to do. So that, you know, I always have another outlet, so that work isn't the only thing that's going on in my mind. So if you guys like the sound of what I'm talking about here, there are so many ways that you can support us. Shogi Foundation is acting as a charity partner for the Zubeenberg program at Slough Cricket Club on the 12th of October, so come along if you're free. And also please do look out for celebrations of World Happiness Day in 2020, which my dad is doing great things for. I don't know exactly what things, but I know that he's doing something. Just lots of things. Too many for me to articulate right now. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I really hope that I've made you even think a little bit about your own mental health. And always remember that, you know, if you need support, Shogi Foundation is a really good avenue to other helplines, just in case you need it. Thank you so much for listening.